Hello, everyone, and welcome to OpenExO Live. Really great to be with you this afternoon for me and my guest, Ellie, or the morning or the evening, wherever you are in the world. And so, as I said, we have Elianne Oei with us today. And you can see on the screen there that we have a number of amazing community members coming up in the next couple of weeks. And so before we get Ellie on stage, I did ask a few community members just to share a little bit about her. And so this first one from Mario just said, Ellie is always full of energy and eager to push things forward with a smile. From Lisa, we just had, Ellie is a visionary that can see the abundance of good in people and what resources can be used to focus capital to invest in a better tomorrow. Ellie and the EPIC team helped turn that vision into an impact investment portfolio for their community. Ellie is the new generation of venture capitalists, people and impact first. She is solutions focused and innovative. From Clarence, we just said, it is an honor to know Ellie as a co-founder of epichub.org. She is passionate, compassionate, well organized, always cool, calm, and composed, making work with her seems like play and fun, a trusted and loyal colleague and friend. We then have from Jessica, Ellie has the unique gift of being a systematic thinker to enable people to become part of the solution in complex problems, as well as being an aligned, humble, human-centered person and a professional who speaks from her expertise, heart, and gut. Having her on board as a partner of the hostship has been a joy and brought our emerging global community to the next level. Over the years, she has become one of my dearest friends who can listen with a non-judgmental lens and know how to put the power back in my own hands in times of setbacks. She and her company EPIC are a true inspiration and encourages me to continue creating my purpose-driven life and SDG-aligned business for more impact in our crazy world. And then we also have from Chandresh, Ellie is a multi-talented professional with extensive international business and consulting experience. She is deeply passionate about changing the world and making a positive difference to people's lives. Her unique blend of strategic thinking, ability to get things done, and building great relationships with people are just a few of her skills. It has been my pleasure to share the journey with her as a co-founder of EPIC, and I'm looking forward to working together to make that dent in the universe. So without further ado, I will welcome on stage Ellie. Welcome. How are you doing?
Well, great. After reading those quotes, that was a fantastic gift. Thank you so much. I'm blushing, I think. I'm like, oh.
Well, for some absurd reason, I'm looking a whole lot like I'm blushing. I don't know what happened to the color of my screen. All of a sudden, there we go. That looks a little bit better. So the camera focusing in the wrong place. So, Ellie, welcome to OpenExO Live. We always start just asking the person who's joined us just to tell us a bit about your background. Tell us, what you've done in the last couple of years. And what brought you into the OpenExO community?
Oh, it's been a crazy journey the last few years. In the last 6 years, I've had 2 children, moved countries, back to the Netherlands basically after 10 years abroad in Asia, Africa, and Australia, and started a business, failed in a business, started an investment syndicate, and then changed that into the latest version of that, which is epichub.org. So lots of things. Over that lifespan or that time span, also been consulting with large corporates doing business restructuring, spin-offs, carve-outs, due diligence, like all sorts of crazy stuff, and having lots of fun. I think I met you in South Africa in 2019 on what was it, the OpenExO Summit, which I can't remember the conference name now, but it was super fun to you in South Africa.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So with all that travel, as you said, working 10 years abroad, you've obviously have got to see many different sort of cultures, not only sort of like national cultures, but also work and organizational cultures. And so, what do you think? How do you believe that all these different sort of organizations and different cultures affect the ability for organizations to actually sort of implement exponential thinking, the EXO model, etc.?
Yeah. So I think awareness is the first step for me. So what I love about OpenExO, it starts with the massive transformative purpose, right? Super powerful because it's kind of like a galvanizing vision or ambition that you have internally. Every organization, every society, every type of collaboration has people at the center of it. So I think Jessica said as well, like human-centered design, right? We're all human. And I think if you can make the human part and connect to the human part of it and actually get people to engage on their massive transformative purpose or the business transformative purpose, then you can move mountains and then you can implement the framework or the methodology really easily. I believe some cultures are much more prone to change than others, but it doesn't matter what culture you're from. I think if you go back to the basics of humanity and humanness and people, then there's always a way to connect. And as soon as you can connect and you can really build that relationship, then you can also build the awareness and then move towards exponential good. Because, why else would you go exponential, if you ask me?
No, absolutely, 100% agree with that. And I think when teams are working perhaps cross-culture, it's about understanding culture that can help the EXO model. I know in our community, it is a generalization, but most of the Dutch people are quite blunt and just say it like it is. And that can be quite difficult for some of the maybe Asian people in the community. But understanding that can help as well. Now, you mentioned MTP, being sort of pivotal to the EXO model, and so could you share like your personal MTP with us and how you came about formulating that?
Yeah. My massive transformative purpose is to have a world where there is enough for all. I believe there's an abundance of everything that we require as humans. It's a matter of redistributing that. And I believe that capital is at the heart of that. So if you change money flows, then the redistribution happens automatically as well. Hence EPIC. But that's not how I got to that. I think it really got crystallized across a number of conversations with a number of key people in my life, asking the question, so what does that mean and why? And what does that look like? And keeping exploring that. So I think it was an evolution of it across, I think, a year or so of having, conversations with people that understand the methodology, that understand what an MTP is, and having exposure to other ones as well. So I love doing the EXO sprint process for EXO Consultant. That was super fun. But also helped to galvanize around that. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. There's an MTP creation sheet that was created by the community probably about 3 or 4 years ago, together with Growth Institute. And the one thing it says is like, share it, right? Go out and speak to people. And if it's something that excites the type of people you want to excite, well, then you're sort of on the right track, as opposed to, if people say, that's boring or something like that, then maybe not. But although some people might think your MTP is crazy, and that's also a good thing. So you need to make sure who you're listening to.
Yeah, and how it feels for you, right? Because if it's yours, it's nobody else's. So if it doesn't feel right for you, it's not right.
No, absolutely. Now, like you said, I mean, you're extremely passionate about making an impact on the planet. I think on your LinkedIn bio it says even since a small child you were determined that you were going to make an impact on the world. And so if someone is thinking, okay, well, I'm entrepreneurial, I think I need to actually start a business, what would you recommend they actually do first?
I think 2 things. One is get really curious about what makes you happy in terms of what gets you excited. So that MTP part, because that's your internal fire. And if that goes out, then why are you doing it? Right? Because if it makes you unhappy every day, why you keep doing it? So it's the stuff that will get you out of bed even when times are hard. Second one is to say, okay, if you know that, and if you know where your interest lies, what does the world need? So I love the Ikigai framework for that as well. So like a little bit, what does the world need, but also what can you get paid for? And start understanding the market, understanding the dynamics, the systems at play, so that you can actually change the system rather than just be a cog in the wheel.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, you don't necessarily, many people go out to say, I'm just going to try and make as much money as possible, but that can sometimes, I guess, blow up in your face. Sometimes I guess it works for some people. Although you'll often find that, those founders of startups, the second thing they're doing is something more around purpose, right? Because that's what fulfills you at the end of the day. And so, as a co-founder of Epic, do you want to quickly just, outline, well, what is Epic, epichub.org, for those that are watching?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's my passion. So Epic is really closely aligned to my MTP of having enough for all. Our mission with Epic is to democratize investments to accelerate impact. So Epic is the place where you go if you're an impact investor, an impact-driven business, or a business owner, and you need to raise funding. What we found in investing as an angel is that the equity game is rather broken. It's quite wasteful, and as soon as you start negotiating, the impact side falls off the table. It's not aligned in terms of making sure that investors are leveraged, making sure that founders and investors are looking and working in the same direction. It's quite an awkward dynamic between investors and founders, and it takes the power away from founders. So that system is not necessarily working specifically not for purpose-driven people, because they don't necessarily want an exit. They don't necessarily want to be bought out by big companies. They don't necessarily want to lift and shift to a private equity firm in 3 to 5 years' time. They want to make the impact on the world. They want to make the world a better place, and they want to collaborate. So very different model. So Epic is geared towards using revenue-based financing as the financing instrument instead of equity, so that you as founders remain in control of the company. That's a non-dilutive financing instrument, yet you can still raise capital to grow your company. For investors, it's attractive because over time you get your investment capital back instead of being locked up for X amount of years and having to sell to the next investor who's potentially interested. The revenue, actually, a percentage of the revenue gets paid back every month or every quarter from the company into your pocket. And so it's attractive because it de-risks from an investment perspective, and it's good for the world, because if you combine impact-driven businesses and you put some fuel into that in terms of capital, and then you surround them with investors and people like mentors from the EXO community with connections and smarts, then you put a lot of rocket fuel in, and the world becomes a better place because they are having the impact. So that, in a nutshell, is Epic. It's the matchmaking platform to bring founders and investors together around revenue-based financing, focus on impact.
Amazing. So ultimately, the focus is on those organizations that are already generating revenue. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's because the risk profile is a little bit lower, and you've proven that you can generate revenue, so it becomes a believable story for investors.
Absolutely. And so if I am a startup founder who's watching this, who's got an organization that's generating revenue, and I've just heard, wow, this sounds like something interesting, what should I do?
Well, two things. One side, if you do need growth capital, because if you can grow without growth capital, then it's even more powerful. It's organic growth, we call that in non-layman terms. Second one is, if you actually do need growth capital because you want to scale exponentially according to the EXO framework, then go to our website, apply as an investee, and we'll get back to you in terms of whether you fit the criteria. There's 3 filters. One is are you impact driven, which SDG are you aligned with really? What kind of impact are you trying to achieve? 2, are you generating revenue, like you said? 3 is, are you exponentially scalable? Because if we want to displace and or augment the funding market, the capital market, then we need to outperform and or perform on par with the best performing venture capital funds in the world. That means a 5 times return in 5 years, or an internal rate of return of 38%. If people now kind of go, whoa, then that's okay. We can talk about that later. It's basically, if we want to do good and do well together, we need to do the well part, like making money part, as well as the non-do-gooders right now, right? Otherwise, we won't actually be able to compete. So that's the aim of the game. Go to the website, apply. We're happy to chat, and we're always happy to help as well. So if it's not us, we might know other people.
Amazing. And as you say, you might know other people. You, of course, have a community that you're also growing, and every, I don't know how often it is, every so often I know you host some roundtables. I've joined some which have been fascinating, with also people from around the world, different impact focused funds and startups. Do you have one coming up soon?
We have a startup currently going through the diligence. Hopefully we'll be able to do a raise with them. So keep an eye on our website, and then there will be a roundtable connected to the market or the industry that startup is in. We haven't scheduled it yet because we want to make sure that the startup actually is all lights go, green lights to go and raise, because then people can actually galvanize around the topic.
Yes.
And even if you don't fund the startup, you might know someone who can help them. You might know a piece of industry information that they need. So it's really around connecting and leveraging each other's smarts, skills, and connections next to capital.
Okay, no, perfect. And also community members that are watching this, that see this for the first time, that say, oh, that's something interesting. What should they do to connect in, whether it's around being, mentors, investors, etc.
Yeah, if they, we're always welcome. So we use the crowd modeling part of the EXO framework as well. So we're always looking for community members. We look for people who can help us with the due diligence on companies, in particular industries. It's usually on demand, but you can also refer deals to us. That way you can actually get a commission for that. If it all goes well and if everyone wins, you win as well. That could also be put towards the investment opportunity so that you can become an investor as well. So there's multiple ways to roam, but basically we're of the philosophy is like, if it's not us who's winning, then if we're winning, then everyone should be able to participate. Post-investment, we're looking for mentors to help the startups de-risk and grow their revenue profile, as well as grow to profitability, sustainability, because we can't have an impact if we don't have sustainable companies supporting that.
Absolutely, 100%. And if anyone watching, wants to also hear a bit more, we did have a future of funding discussion, and that is on the OpenExO media portal, as well as within the OpenExO platform. So do go give that a look as well. You can just search for future of funding. So Ellie, I have a question. What is your view of the world in 2030? And what's exciting you right now that's actually going to get us to that world in 2030?
Oh, that's like crystal ball material, Kevin. It's hard. And it's close and far at the same time. So it's so tricky. So 2030, I hope solar energy will be our main source of power. Why? It's because it would then completely democratize and demonetize energy. I wish Epic would be a huge success, and revenue-based financing is the next normal in terms of raising funds for startups and growth capital, along with venture debt. And I would hope the trend now is that impact investing is becoming the new sexy. I would like that to be the the norm, so the normalized version. So if we think something is normal, then it's a no-brainer. We don't even think about it anymore. So I would like to have impact as a criteria, as an investment criteria, or even as an ESG, because it's slightly different to impact, as the baseline, like nothing else will do, right? If you don't do good, and if you do no harm, then you're okay. But if you are doing harm, that's not normal.
Yeah,
So I wish for a world where that's the case, so that we all live in a better world. Basically, it will benefit us. It will benefit the planet. We can actually live on it for a little bit longer.
Absolutely. And I mean, speaking about about the idea around energy abundance, I mean, that unlocks so much that we've never been able to do. And actually, this week I came across a boat that's sailing out there called Energy Observer. It's actually been around since 2017, and it's completely solar powered. And when it's got extra power, it's turning water into hydrogen, and then that hydrogen can then be used to actually power the boats as well, right? Just so amazing.
Super cool.
Yeah, they've been floating around the world for like almost 4 years, using only renewable energies. So amazing. Ellie, I cannot believe the time has sort of come to an end. As we say, thank you for joining us today. One thing that you want to just share with the audience as you head off.
The one thing I think, choose happy. Choose happy over everything else. If you're happy, then the world already automatically becomes a better place, because happy is infectious. So let's all be happy.
Awesome. Well, Ellie, have a happy evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
Evening there, your spring evening in the Netherlands, and we'll chat to you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was Elianne Oei from the Netherlands, and I want to say she's not in Amsterdam, and I can't remember where she is. But thank you so much for joining us. A real pleasure to be here. And I see Michael Freeber says thank you on LinkedIn. Thanks, Michael, for watching. We'll see you all again next week. So do join us and have a fantastic rest of your day.